Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the first in a new series where I will be progressing a Bowmaster from Maple Island to Chaos Root Abyss. I made a poll not too long ago asking people what they were interested in seeing after so long, and a lot of people chose the CRA option and also the Lotus and Damien option. So I figured, why not both? For this series I'm going to start it off by getting to CRA first, and then depending on how much I enjoy the character, I will progress the character to Lotus and Damien afterwards. For this series, I'll be doing it a little bit differently from how I did it in my original series, which is with the Paladin. If you guys haven't seen it already, you guys should check out my Paladin series on my channel, where I take a fresh character with no links and no legion and clearing up to Chaos Root Abyss with it. The Paladin series is much more in depth than what I plan to do with this series, but I'll try to add as much detail as I can so that new players can still follow along with my Bowmaster. Unlike my Paladin series, however, I won't be restricting myself from using account-wide options such as links and legion. And also, for once, I'll be letting myself take advantage in various events that come up, including things like coin shops and event buffs. Even though I am planning on using links and legion and whatnot, I won't be planning on spending large amounts of nodestones or meso on this character, mostly because I'm actually quite poor across my account and my jet kinda needs the nodestones to do anything useful. For this character, a lot of the gameplay that you guys will see will be coming straight from the streams I do with the character. I try not to do too much recording off stream so then people can follow along, and also it's a lot more fun that I get to interact with people in my chat and my subscribers and whatnot. From the streams, one of the most common questions that I get asked is, why did I choose Bowmaster for this progression? I chose Bowmaster for a few reasons. The first reason is because apparently my Paladin series was too easy. Some people had issues with the fact that I played a Paladin that could tank a lot of things. I don't really see why they would think that. Paladin is tanky, but it seems like a pretty balanced class, the fact that, you know, it doesn't do any damage. I also did it without links and legions to balance that out, but I guess some people weren't happy with the series. So this time I chose a class that is a lot less tanky, that doesn't have very many defensive options, and also probably the thing that's gonna bother me the most later down the track is the fact that this class doesn't have 100% stance, and there's a 99% chance that that's gonna get me killed in the near future. Aside from that, the biggest reason why I am choosing to do Bowmaster is that I've never really played an archer class in general. The first time I played Maplestory was sometime in 2005, and even then I never really made any archer class. Recently I only played Wind Archer, Wild Hunter, and Marksman, but they were for just links and legions, so I didn't really have an extensive knowledge on how to play those classes. So for once I wanted to play an archer class and experience it from beginning to end. In the early stages of this progression, I'll be mainly focusing on getting basic items that I'll need to clear CRA. This means that I won't be going into too much detail on where I will be training at various points. Unless where I'm training is directly beneficial to progressing my character, I won't go into too much detail. If you guys are interested in seeing a training guide, I'm sure there's many out there that you guys can find. But if you want to see one specifically from me, please let me know in the comments. Also, if you'd like to see more of this sort of content on my channel, consider giving the video a like and subscribing to stay updated. It helps the channel out a lot and it helps other people to find my content as well. I stream every once in a while, so if you guys want to tune in and see me play my Paladin, my Jet, or my Bowmaster, make sure that you would subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, you can follow my other social medias like my Twitter. I plan on using that a little bit more often so then I can stay more connected with you guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the chat in the future, and let's get back to the video. At the beginning, it's pretty standard leveling up in the early levels. Getting to level 30 is pretty straightforward. And then I started doing some of the early theme dungeons. I usually like to do Gold Beach just because I can hyper teleport rock in it. Otherwise, just doing any of the theme dungeons are fine up to level 60. I usually don't train outside of the theme dungeons in the early levels, but because I was using my links and legion, I was strong enough to train outside the theme dungeons at level 55. And you can see me here training in Sleepywood all the way up to level 70 and then Orbis to about 85. From here, I decided to do the Afterlands theme dungeon. Usually I don't do the Afterlands on all my characters, but for the characters that I do plan on bossing with, I do this theme dungeon just because the Afterlands is an alright form of EXP, and also the totems give you extra damage and that adds up when you're trying to do bosses. Especially when I'm trying to do solo progression, I'll just take any form of damage that I can. If you guys are planning on doing the Afterlands, make sure you guys follow a guide, otherwise you might get lost or bug out the quests. After that, I went and trained in the desert until I got bored, and then I decided to train in the Ellen Forest until I hit a level 100. Once you hit about level 100, you can start making progression on which kind of items that you're working towards. As soon as you hit level 100, one of the main priorities that you try to go for are the 2 accessories that you get from Zakum. These are the most accessible face and eye accessories that you can get, and also they add towards the boss set bonus, which helps out in the early game a lot. I'll be running Zachem daily, so then I can get these 2 drops. And then I'll be picking the best flame out of all the ones I get, and then I'll be using that for my damage gear. I also decided to do the Von Leon pre-quest once I hit level 130. You can start it earlier, but I like to do it a little bit later so then I don't struggle through the theme dungeon. And the main reason for this is because I wanted to access the Von Leon NPC shop. Once I'm strong enough to kill normal Von Leon and get his coins, I'll be able to start buying things from the shop. And the equipment from this shop is quite good because they come with boss flames, and because you get so many coins from killing normal Von Leon, you'll be able to buy a lot of pieces of equipment every day, which will help you maximize the amount of stat you'll get from the equipment. I recommend this over doing Healer, just so then you have a better control over what items you get. Healer is good because it does drop good boss flames, but at the same time it doesn't drop the same items each time, and it can be quite difficult to fix bad flames if you have them. Also, the set bonuses for Von Leon are slightly better than Healers, and if you are solo progressing and don't have access to carries, it's probably the best set that you can use outside of Pencilier. I don't really recommend people using Pencilier to boss with because the set bonus isn't very good, but we can use Pencilier items to train with along the way. Once I was about level 145, I started doing Commercy as well. The main reason for this, of course, is to go for the Sweetwater weapon, but also in the long term, if I am going to try to do Lotus and Damien, I'm going to need the Sweetwater tattoo at the very least to be able to boost my damage in an easy way. The main reason, of course, is because the Zachem accessories only go up to 10 stars at most, and the Sweetwater ones can go up to 22 star, and having a 17 star tattoo makes a big difference of damage over the Zachem accessory, even with the boss set. The Sweetwater weapon is the preferred weapon to do solo progression up to at least CRA because it's one of the few weapons that you get access to early on that gives you both boss damage and IED. The fact that it's also a level 160 item, so it gets an extra 1% per line for attack, also adds a lot of damage in the long run. Because I am using Lynx and Legion, I don't see myself upgrading the bow past unique, but if I am really struggling with the damage, I'll consider upgrading it to a legendary weapon. Other than that, my main goals are to fill up my rings. As of recording this, I am taking advantage of the Hotel Maple event to get the 2 rings from the event shop, the rings being the Reboot ring and the Vengeful ring. These are equivalent to 17 star rings and are very powerful and very cheap early on, and they are quite accessible too. A lot of event shops tend to have this ring, so I'll be using these and then tiering them up as I go. Alongside these, I'll be trying to tier up my emblem and my secondary to legendary so then I can get some attack lines on them, maybe IED boss damage lines depending on what I see, so then I can train easier and also boss easier. For now though, I think that will be all I will be going through in this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, please consider giving it a like, it really helps out the channel. And if you want to see more from this series, please consider subscribing to stay updated on the channel. You guys can also follow me on Twitter where I'll be announcing both my uploads and my streams. Thank you all for supporting me and my channel over the last year. I really appreciate all of it, the comments and you guys joining in the streams and whatnot. Thank you all for watching, and as always, have a nice day.